All right, how's everybody doing? Good. We thought a great way to continue our conversations about placemaking and innovation would be to present a project that's happening up in a little town in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. The Global Sustainable Micro-Communities Solution Project could provide a stimulating conversation to start things off today because it addresses so many of the issues that our small towns face, especially in the wake of last summer's flood. So now I'd like to turn the mic over to Glenn Shyster from AmeriQuest DeveloCorp with his flagship proposal for the town of Hardwick, Vermont. Glenn and his team are using Hardwick as a pilot project, but this development is designed as a replicable model that could change the face and improve the brand of Vermont in our long-term future. Glenn has a short presentation, and then we will open up the floor for questions.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city.
Glenn's coming down.
We built this city on rock and roll.
So nice to be with all of you. Emma, thank you for that great introduction. Once again, my name is Glenn Shyster, and I'm from AmeriQuest DeveloCorp. We're a little mom and pop operation based out of Boulder, Colorado Springs, the 25 corridor up and down there. I'm the Northeast project manager. This is my lovely assistant, Jenny Gugeldox, my wizard of spreadsheets, my queen of Quicken, my Wonder Woman of Word. Couldn't do any of this without my Jenny.
That is true. Let's keep going.
Sure. So let's talk about research. Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, I'm here to tell you today a beautiful story about beautiful people, well, about a group of people coming together to improve their community. We're here to talk to you about the Global Sustainable Micro-Communities Solution Project. This is a system of replicable development that AmeriQuest will be launching across New England over the next 5 to 7 years, cold starting a variety of towns throughout the area. Specifically, we want to tell you about our marquee site, the launch pad for the GSM CSP up in Hardwick. Now, Hardwick it's a great example of what we call a placeholder town.
Placeholder town.
Which is, of course, a town in need of a little placemaking, a town on its way to becoming a place. We thought this project would be a great one to present today because it demonstrates a blueprint that can be used in vulnerable towns across the Northeast. We were lucky to have Hardwick project fast-tracked due to the flooding events that happened there last summer. And this is a real boon opportunity for AmeriQuest DeveloCorp, as well as some of the citizens of Hardwick, and an opportunity to do something really transformative in an environmental, economic, and cultural sense. Just think about it. Underneath all the great European cities, you'll find the ruins of the structures that needed to be demolished in order to make way for the future. Right, Miro?
See, I don't know.
So, now let's talk about innovation. How exciting to be here with so many peers working to address the same issues that we're always thinking about at AmeriQuest, namely making vibrant places out of our existing placeholders to better face our changing world. We can, of course, do that in many ways. We can let go of old ideas like choosing between economic growth and environmental responsibility, and by capitalizing on a lack of culture to focus rural places into vibrant rural places. In this new vision, a bolstered economy and a strengthened environment go hand in hand. Now, this isn't greenwashing we're talking about here, people. This is it's deeper than that. It's green sort of steeping. Now, you all know that many of the small towns and cities throughout Vermont and New England have a lot going for them. Natural beauty, useful infrastructure, hardworking people. And of course, these communities also face a lot of very real challenges. Let's take a look at the town of Hardwick, AmeriQuest model site, and some of the challenges that we found there. Jenny, can you pull up the first slide? Great. This small community is vulnerable in a way that can be very positive for development opportunities. They need the same things that are needed everywhere: money, jobs, housing, watang, the Holy Trinity. In addition, we've got this problem. local youth are leaving for better paying jobs elsewhere. Living in such close proximity to wildlife can be a real headache. I mean, look at that. That's a playground.
It's a bear.
That's not a bear.
That's what that is.
It's a wildcat.
Bear.
Many people suffer from partial mountain views, even though we are literally surrounded by mountains. And of course, old town centers were not designed. They just kind of happened. When Hardwick was built over 100 years ago, they weren't anticipating the needs of 2024, and they obviously weren't thinking about the aesthetics, the vernacular, or the feng shui. As a result, this town has a main street that literally has only one side. How's that going to attract the right kind of people, the high multiplier talent to town? How's that going to help the town find itself and get a leg up? Now, look, these challenges may seem overwhelming, but they are easy to address with a little clever thinking and a lot of development. Harder to address, of course, is the way of life issue. Now listen, our studies have found that the people of Hardwick, and honestly most of Vermont, have a troubling relationship with hard work. There's a culture of resiliency here, a care for your neighbors, a civic mindedness. This community-minded spirit and hard work gets in the way of the tremendous economic impact of personal, individual leisure activities and the associated tax revenue, okay? So, how can one project solve all of these problems? The only thing stopping Hardwick from becoming an ever economically expanding 21st century city is a lack of imagination. Why can't a town with a housing crisis turn into a place with endless housing? Density of housing, density of people, density of ideas, density of innovation. Why can't a pass-through town become a destination known for its booming nightlife and gorgeous recreational opportunities? Huh? Well, it can. Welcome to the new Hardwick. Hard work, Hardwick. Let's turn that hard to soft. Welcome to Softwick Falls. Hold for applause.
Yeah, don't read that part. That's in the parentheses.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. This is a model we can use with great success in bland communities all over this country. Our projects are designed to nestle into the unique character of the place. Here in Softwick Falls, we're capitalizing on the rugged outdoorsiness of Hardwick as our central theme. To that end, our team of engineers will move a piece of Buffalo Mountain and reroute the iconic Judavine Falls to a more appropriate site, creating a 200-acre campus for Softwick Falls, centered around world-class helicopter skiing for the winter months and an adventure whitewater park in the summer months. There'll be flood-safe, high-end condominiums, fancy apartments for guests, and high-efficiency, low-lying housing, tiny crap places for workers.
No, don't read the parentheses. That's notes.
We're not reading that part?
Yeah, don't say that out loud.
Take that out.
I'm sorry.
Let's talk about entrepreneurship, can we? There'll be a high-speed train with arrivals daily from Boston and New York. Oh,
yeah, don't
you're right.
forget about that
Yeah,
part.
of course, the existing property that remains will mostly become Airbnb.
That's right.
So that's a real boon for property owners. Yeah. Thanks, Jenny. I missed that.
No problem.
There'll be a high-speed train daily with arrivals from Boston and New York, a state-of-the-art ski tunnel / Mongolian bathhouse, and a high-speed food truck tramway so that guests can order and eat while they ski. But that's not all. Softwick Falls will bring highly trained professionals, and phase 2 of the project will involve developing the other half of that main street we talked about. Now, right now we have plans in the works to replace the local diner, the pedestrian bridge, and the independent car mechanic with either a biotech facility / brain cooling center or a vinyl chloride factory. We're not quite sure, but either way, our contract with Whole Foods has gone through. We're definitely building one in Hardwick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's the full package right there. It's the full package.
And we also want to talk about resilience in natural disasters, right, Glenn?
Yeah, we do. Jenny, thanks. So let's talk about the Lamoille River. It's a waterway of economic destruction. Jenny, bring up the Lamoille Boulevard slide, would you? Like the Erie Canal, the Lamoille River is now what is called obsolete infrastructure. Mills don't play a role in this new Hardwick, and it has no specific recreational value where it is in the middle of town there. So we'll minimize the footprint of the river by paving that real estate over. We're going to use some of that Cheetocrete, am I right?
Yeah, Cheetocrete.
Cheetocrete?
Cheeto, yeah.
I'm allergic to shellfish, so. Listen, we'll solve all of our problems, our flooding concerns with asphalt and sewer pipe. Mother Nature can't be left to run wild and ruin things. She needs to be tamed. This is what humans do, right? We adapt and we capitalize.
Excuse me, this is ridiculous. You're talking about paving over the river in the name of progress? Are you crazy?
So hold on, there'll be a Q&A at the end, but can we just keep things civil? Let's just keep things civil.
Yeah, we can keep it civil.
I have a few more slides here, and these are the most important ones because we need to talk about outcomes. Our economists predict that the residents who can afford to remain will see their standard of living rise 30 to 40%, as this chart indicates. And in addition to opening up, added parking spaces and easier access for import-export corridors, and the new and surviving infrastructure will be pretty much bulletproof in the face of potential flooding, droughts, insect swarms, communicable diseases, such.
Yeah.
Hardwick might even consider replacing its moniker Gateway to the Kingdom with AmeriQuest developer's own branding, Softwick Falls, because it doesn't have to be so hard. Isn't that nice? We focus grouped that.
Yeah,
tested
we tested out.
very well.
Like 3 folks.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I think we want to take a minute to address any lingering questions, right, Glenn?
Yeah, are there any questions?
Yeah.
From the audience?
Yeah, I got one right here.
Okay.
My name's JD Oposenhomer. I'm a citizen of East Hardwick and planet Earth. And I'm here today to represent hundreds of citizens, both human and otherwise.
It's nice to see you. And you and I have had some challenging conversations during this process. You've been at just about every public meeting that we've had. I'm not surprised to see you turn up here today. I appreciate your candor and your tenacity, but...
Are you going to shut me down?
I mean, what do you want to say, JD, about Hardwick? What do you...
No, you go ahead.
No. Listen,
I'm being civil. I'm being civil.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead, JD.
I didn't interrupt.
You're afraid we're going to take the town away from you? Is that the deal?
Well, that's what happened, folks. AmeriQuest came into Hardwick, and they took our town away from us, and now they're coming to every town here in the state, and they're going to try and take your town away from you. You can read all about them in Digger. There's a great article from last April, and it details how they come into the town and they just shove aside the environmental regulations. They pay off local officials.
No.
You know, this isn't greenwashing. This is napalm. That's what this is. And it's, I think
sorry to jump in there. Sorry to jump in. But I just want to point out, isn't it great to have a community-driven process where all voices are represented at the table? Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. Are there other? Oh.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I've got a couple things to say.
Oh my goodness, it's Eunice Yesteryear. This is expected, folks. This is Eunice Yesteryear, whose property AmeriQuest developer legally purchased to build the resort.
It might have been legal, but it wasn't honest. Now, Yesteryear's been living up that property for 5 generations. And when my husband died, I tried to keep up the farm, but I just couldn't make it. I just couldn't do it by myself. Now, my son tried to help out, but he's got his job to the cheese factory, and he has a family to support. He can't do everything.
Well, that's why we came in to buy the property,
Yeah. But hold on there, because when Mr. Shyster there showed up at my property, he didn't say anything about a ski resort. He said he liked the house and that he would keep up my perennial beds.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Even better than perennial beds, you're going to have a Whole Foods with a fresh flower section. Am I right?
That's just ridiculous. You also never said anything about Whole Foods, and you never said anything about a nightclub. Well, sure, I couldn't keep the place up, but I didn't realize when I sold it I'd be selling out the fabric of our community right out from under us.
But Eunice, with the money you made from the sale of the acreage, you should be easily able to afford one of our later living condos that we're building.
What am I going to do in a condo? I couldn't keep my farm up, but... And what about the neighbors? I mean, they're barely making it with their farm as it is. You plunk a amusement park down on top of them, you're making it hopeless.
Well, thank you for that great question, Eunice. It looks like we have another
Yeah,
one
can we-
over.
are
Where
there
is
other-
she?
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yes,
Where is
thank
she?
you.
Yes, that
Tina.
one.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Jenny. Hi, everyone.
Tina.
I'm too tall. My name is Tina Overwood, and I am a lifelong resident of Hardwick and a longtime member of the Select Board, and I also serve on the school board. Now, Glenn invited me here today to talk to you about what this project can do for our town. We are very excited. While it has gotten off to a bit of a rocky start, and there certainly are some disagreements as to whether or not this is the right fit for our community, I think we can all...
Disagreement? What are you talking about? Half the select board quit. There's a lawsuit. It's not a disagreement. It's a collapse.
Be that as it may, JD.
Yeah, it may.
While this project certainly has some challenges with it and isn't perfect, it does have some undeniable benefits for our community. For the non-Hardwick folks in the room, which I know is many of you since we're in Chittenden County, a number of years ago, we had major plans to renovate our school. It was going to have a new auditorium with rehearsal rooms, air conditioning, a community center with a gym, a state-of-the-art makerspace. It was a true investment in our students and their future. And just as we were getting ready to go to the town with a bond vote, COVID hit, and we ended up having to stall the project. So our students are still going to school in this outdated facility, breathing in Lord knows how many PCBs.
My kids all went to that school, and they're just fine.
I mean,
Wow.
Be that as it may, Eunice, it's not just about the school side either. I mean, for the municipal end of things, last summer after the flooding, we had some ARPA money and some FEMA funds that helped fix the roads, and we were able to get through it. But if something like this happens again, we are going to be in deep trouble. We do not have the ability to withstand another disaster like this. We need to think about a way to have a sustainable source of revenue, to be bringing cash into our community, and to protect it environmentally, especially.
Protect it environment? He's talking about paving over the river. What planet are you living on, Tina? That's not protection.
This is upsetting, JD. I know.
I'm not upset.
Well, I am.
Passionate.
Be that as it may. I know this is upsetting, but we have had 2 100-year storms in the span of 12 years. Yesterday, there was a tornado watch for the entire state. Also, we have school district budgets getting voted down left and right due to an aging tax base that cannot absorb the property tax increase and a broken state funding formula. So we need to take control. We have to do something better for our students because tax dollars simply are not going to come in and save the day anymore.
Okay. This isn't even a question. This is a stock speech from the AmeriQuest website.
it's a great talking point.
No, it's
This
not.
is not. Is there going to be time for actual discussion,
Yes,
or just the lip service over here?
No, we have our eye on the clock, JD. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tina. Yeah.
Thank you, Glenn. So anyway, to get back to my point, when I first met Glenn and told him about all of our plans, he said to me, start dreaming, Tina, and start dreaming big. Because when the money comes in from Softwick Falls, we'll be able to triple any revenue that we would have been able to get through a bond, a little nervous, with the town. So let's rethink that Olympic-sized swimming pool as part of the original design.
Yes.
Let's take control of our future.
Yes.
Let us have a
Spare us the TED Talk, Tina. We are not taking control, and we should not try to control nature. Tina sold her soul to AmeriQuest. You can't believe a word that she says.
No,
Just don't
I
listen
did
to her
not.
at all. Meanwhile,
It's not true.
we should have been coming together as a town. You should all come together in your towns. Instead, our town has actively handed control over to a multinational conglomerate corporation. What kind of control is that?
That is a corporation that is going to give our kids a reason to stay, JD, or an education that will help them leave. I mean, come on. I've supported all of your kooky ideas before, and I am sorry, but we don't all want to live in a yurt.
Okay, and we don't all want to live in Stowe, and this project is going to turn Hardwick into Stowe's ugly stepsister.
No, HR.
And for the 100th time, Tina, it's not a yurt, It's an Earth ship that I built with my partner and our own 4 hands out of recycled tires. And Eunice, we will happily build you one. You don't have to live in one of those god-awful condos.
I don't
can
want
live in a
to
tire
live in
house.
a yurt, and I don't want to live in a condo either. I just want to find some way to stay here that makes sense. I don't want to leave Vermont, but I feel like Vermont is leaving me. Now, okay, I guess I could move into a condo, but it wouldn't be my Vermont. I just feel like there must be some way we can get together and come up with a way to make this place not turn into everywhere else.
Listen, I appreciate you all speaking your respective truths. Isn't it really wonderful when we can gather as a community and just grapple with these really challenging issues?
Did you have mango? You can't have mango.
No, I can't have seafood either.
Yeah.
I asked it.
Okay.
If there's no further, are there any further questions? If there's no further questions, let's just dive right into the next steps for the community so folks can get a start. What's
That's the last thing. Glenn! Oh my God, Glenn! Oh, sorry about the furniture. Should we keep going? Is there a doctor, but not a doctor of philosophy? Is anyone? Okay. Oh my God, Tina, is he breathing?
He's not breathing.
Is there a pulse?
There's no pulse.
He's dead. Okay, so we are experiencing some technical difficulties. At the moment, in that what you just saw was not real, and now is a great time to hand the mic over to Rose to tell you about what you just saw.
Okay, you've just witnessed a sample of Civic Theater. This presentation was actually the opening of the Civic Standards production. Oh, thanks. This was the opening of our production of an original show that we wrote called Developed to Death, which was a murder mystery dinner theater show that took place in the Legion Hall in Hardwick. What followed the death of the developer was a 3-course meal alongside a fictional investigation in which we exposed and explored issues of class, town culture, and belonging through comedy and melodrama. Over plates of spaghetti and platters of brownies, the audience had to decide who amongst the characters had the motive and means to commit the murder. The suspects included our real town manager, playing himself, a jilted contractor, the town clerk who was maybe having an affair with the developer, and several other characters, both real and invented. The conversations among the audience, and I have a few pictures to show you, acted as a foil or a screen for the very real and hard conversations that we have to have as a community. When we found ourselves back at the Legion a couple months after the show for a public meeting about flood relief and resources, many of the same people were sitting at the same long tables, once again eating spaghetti, and once again listening to our town manager explain what was going to happen. Several people commented, "It looks just like the play." So our shows, we do a lot of different original shows. They try to hold up a mirror to our town and to ask important questions that it's hard to ask directly, and so we have to do it through art. What makes us who we are? Who gets to decide what happens to our town? What defines a better future? In other words, who holds the power? And what do we know about ourselves? Community resiliency starts with human relationships, not engineers or city planners. A town that knows itself can be self-determined and strong in the face of challenges. And here is how civic theater grows resiliency. It's not just about poking fun at reality, though it is fun, and it's not just about using art as a vehicle to educate or do good, though it may incidentally have both of those results. It is the practice of community, making something together that is made of us. When we are in the habit of really seeing each other, of following through, when we make an invitation that everyone is welcome, of talking about hard topics, even in a fictional setting, of making art and spaghetti together, even when it is more annoying and slow than doing it alone, then we are obviously more responsive and connected and more human too. We know each other and we know better what to do together. Thank you very much for watching our ridiculous show. Thanks to these actors. All of these people had to register under fake names so that their name tags would say the right thing. So they really went all the way, full commitment. Thank you guys very much.